Let's open up the OG mailbag, brought to you by the Butcher's Market alongside Joe Giglio. I'm Joe Ovias. We're inside Eford Studios in downtown Raleigh, thanks to Empire Properties, of course, thanks to Copiers Plus. But on Mailbag Fridays, it's all about the Butcher's Market. You got a birthday feast from the Butcher's Market ready to go? All the hot dogs you can eat. You ready, Joe? 50 hot dogs for 50?
No, we've advanced.
Oh.
Chicken. Maple bourbon chicken. Give me all 50 of those.
That's right. The maple bourbon chicken's pretty good.
I probably could eat about 20 of those.
And
little chunklets.
May I remind folks, you don't have to go to the case to get your maple bourbon chicken. They actually have the prepackaged marinated steak and chicken ready to go.
It's a little bit easier, actually.
Super easy. Go in, grab it, and go. And that's all thanks to our friends at the Butcher's Market. But happy birthday, man.
Cheers. Thank you.
Did the birthday gods bless you in Danville, Virginia yesterday?
Mm-mm.
How was your casino experience?
Maybe with the gift of, hey, you actually suck at this.
That
might have been the might have been the message.
You certainly got the gift of gab, though, from one Gordon Miller.
You know,
shout out to Miller Lending.
Gordon does have a Adam Gold-esque level to him. But I enjoy Gordon's company. He's got a lot of stories. It's good.
Yeah. It's funny.
Including about early radio Joe.
Oh, geez. What did he tell you?
Well, we'll do those on another date.
Fair enough. So what's funny is you say he's got the stories. This is, it kind of be like you've heard all of my stories by now, just like I've heard most of your stories.
Sure.
So it's kind of like, it's like how people are with my dad. They're like, oh man, your dad's a blast.
New audience.
I'm like, my dad loves a new audience. It's new to you. Okay. It's like the old NBC rerun gimmick. Like, hey, you didn't see this episode, so it's new to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's my dad. Gordon's kind of the same way. I think I've heard every Detroit story from Gordon. So it's same with Adam. I've heard all the stories. Anytime we're at like an ACC event or like where there's a hospitality thing and he's talking to folks.
Tell him the Larry King story.
Oh, we talking Larry King? I'm out. See ya. I've heard this one before. Peace. Oh, is this a BAL story? Nah, I know where this one's going. Peace.
Mr. Rogers? Okay.
I'm out. Let's go. But again, we all have the stories we tell. So I know I have my stories. You have your stories and everything else.
No, it was fun. The only thing that was perplexing to me is like, who is the super Virginia politician that got that casino there? It's like in the middle of absolutely nowhere. You're nowhere near a major highway.
No.
I know it's the state of Virginia because they still allow smoking.
Mm-hmm.
So that threw me off when I walked in.
Oh, in the building?
When I you park in the parking garage, walk in the building. We're on the lower level. It smelled like smoke. And I said to Gordon, this is a brand new building. Why does it smell like smoke? Sure enough, you go upstairs and somebody's ripping a heater, pulling on the roof, on the slot machine. And I'm like,
pure vibes.
Huh?
Pure vibes.
What's going on?
Well, I've said this. I mean, at some point, we're going to get casinos in North Carolina. And there's one sitting right there, Roanoke Rapids, up I-40 before you get to Virginia.
Major highway. Yes.
Major highway.
Makes all the sense in the world.
The old Randy Parton Theater boondoggle is just sitting there. That thing is perfect to be turned into a casino complex. Perfect for it. But of course, you need to have these things legalized here.
You have an actual start of business to this show, or you want me to hijack it real quick?
I mean, it's your birthday, buddy.
Okay. So you're leaving me, right? Are you going to be around on Sunday or no?
I'll be back on Sunday.
Okay. I always try to make it personal, just like Jordan. When you leave me, it becomes, and then he left me, and I got to do the show, and I got to hit the buttons. I got to make sure I'm mic one.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to make plans for Sunday, and now that a certain person is a former governor, I have a direct line of communication to him.
Is he going to jump on?
In fairness. Okay. So you'll enjoy that. You're going to enjoy like every bit of this.
Fair.
Are you free on Sunday? You could join me on the StreamYard link.
Yeah.
This is me.
Yeah.
It will be my birthday present. And he said, so it'd be pretty low tech. I'm using my iPad. I'm in my Boston apartment.
Yeah.
I said, that's fine. I can send you a test link. We'll see if it works. Pretty sure the game is early on Sunday, right?
It's a 3:00 game.
And I said, probably. And I said, besides, it'll probably be easy because it'll be a Chekhov game. No problem. Easy potting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Seems like enough rest time for Anderson, but maybe so. So is it recorded or is it live?
It's live.
And I'm like, sir, we are live. I say, he says, is it before the game? I go, no, it's live post game.
Yeah.
Quotes after dark. Okay. And then he goes, all right, with me, the chances of a tech screw up are high, but we can test it. I just signed up with my Google account. So now I'm thinking to myself, what did he sign up for? See progress. And then I said, how is Cambridge treating you? And his answer, this thing is $35 a week. He goes, I'm an unemployed former public servant. He's like, there is a free trial though. I go, are you talking about Google or your apartment? And then I beat him to it. I go, you don't have to pay for StreamYard.
No.
I go, we pay for it.
Pay for it.
You just click on the link.
Jeez.
I thought
That's
you'd really
funny.
enjoy that.
That's funny. That's a first.
And then
That's a first.
And then at the risk of outing him, I'll let him defend himself on Sunday. He finally answers my Cambridge questions. He's like, yeah, Cambridge is great because it's a totally different experience. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, and I even said it, I go, wow, you mean the guy who grew up in North Carolina, went to school in North Carolina, went to law school in North Carolina, worked as a lawyer in North Carolina, and as a governor in North Carolina, attorney general, then governor? Being outside of North Carolina is a different experience.
Different vibe.
Huh.
Who knew?
Who could have come up with that?
Who knew? So is he in for Sunday?
Assuming the iPad works.
Okay.
Roy Cooper.
Yeah, I'm
Roy Cooper, Canes correspondent.
I mean, I'm back.
Will be joining us.
But
I didn't know where you would be.
No.
Because it is an early game.
It is an early game. No, I'm headed to Asheville for anniversary. But back on Sunday.
Happy good anniversary.
Right. We have all sorts of it's a triple header or a triple
day.
play. It's a triple play, if you will. So yeah. So I'll be back on Sunday. In fact, I think we're getting together with neighbor Rick to watch some of the game, but I'm around.
Okay.
I might pop in on the StreamYard and we'll see how we're feeling. I might be a couple stags in.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see.
Perfect.
Why are you making a face? You want some alone time with the governor? I understand. If you want alone time with the governor, I get it.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Just don't, whatever you do, don't do anything on that StreamYard live that would potentially screw him in an election.
Okay.
Could you do that?
It's fair.
Because you know how it is. Just saying. Good for me, not for thee. You know how it works in this day and age. Some people can get away with saying some problematic things. Not everybody.
Yeah, we'll stick to hockey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on it.
Stick to hockey and make sure he's on a diet sun drop so he is fired up and ready to go. Maybe 2 diet sun
I
drops.
fear we're gonna have to have the talk about like how to position the iPad so we're not getting the nostril shot. We also don't need the jiggle, the handheld jiggle.
No, we don't.
So
I don't think he's gonna have that.
We'll get some early reps in on.
We'll make it
on
work.
Sunday.
We'll make it work.
Here's a mail that never fails. Makes me wanna whack my tail. When it comes, what a whale.
All right. You know how this works. First part of this is free. We should have put all this stuff on the paid side. That was gold. But no, we gave it to you for free. We're going to give you some phone calls for free as well. If you want the whole mailbag, head on over to ogtrianglemedia.com. Be part of OG Fans where you get the full episode.
One more while we're free.
Yeah.
Because I like this. Email.
You've got mail.
Email. Matt from Carborough birthday. Hey, Joe. My husband's a big fan of the show and his birthday is today.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you've got a birthday coming up too. Happy birthday. I'm sure that Matt from Carborough would love a birthday shout out on the show if you happen to see this and have a moment. Signed, wife of an OG loyal who hears you guys in the background at home a lot.
We're sorry.
And then it was in parentheses, kidding aside, I love sports and I think you guys do a great job. I feel like she felt like she had to throw the parentheses in there. Like, but I hear like, I could see like her typing this up. Like, I got to listen to these motherfuckers all day long.
Oh, that's
please. The least they can do is give my husband a little bit of love. So Matt, happy birthday, man. I don't know which year it is for you. Round numbers for me, big numbers for me. But I hope you enjoy your day. I hope you enjoyed your day because I think it was 424.
I'm still working through radio scars. You actually just brought up one of my favorite things. Been working in radio for so long.
Okay.
When you tell somebody, well, what do you do for a living? And usually this is specifically with the female demographic. Okay. Specifically the female demographic. Usually it goes three ways, but majority two, and then a very small percentage is the third, right? But the majority of the situation splits in two ways. I either get I work in radio, and they're like, oh, well, what music do you play? I'm like, no. And then they're just completely checked out. Or it's oh yeah, my husband or significant other, he'll listen to you all the time. And it's very much like this, it's like a sigh, like, yeah, I don't want to listen to you guys, but
I wish I didn't know who you were,
but he, they love you. They listen to you all the time. And I'm like, well, tell your husband thank you. Tell your boyfriend thank you. Those types of things. The ones that make me really feel old is when I get oh yeah, my dad listened to you all the time in carpool. I'm like, oh.
There's a lot of I grew up.
There's that too.
Listening to you, and I'm like,
and then there's the third, which they listen, and that's that. Like Jeannie.
Good morning, good morning, boys. Calling to wish Giglio a happy half-century birthday. Joe, may nobody put it in your ear today. May people say Joe was right. You're Deeks. And Joe Ovius, happy anniversary tomorrow. And I love watching your show. And happy show anniversary coming up soon. But have a good day, you guys. You got a lot to celebrate. Bye-bye.
I mean, it's your birthday. You might ask for it in your ear. I don't know.
No ear, and you were right, Jeannie. You know the way to my heart.
All right, from since we're going through the sports phone, let's go ahead and hit the jingle. Y'all always want the jingle. I get it.
919-444-2211. Call the OG Sports Phone and curse or don't.
All right, this is from a 336.
Hey guys, this is Ethan in Winston-Salem. I'm going to be honest, whatever happens to UNC football doesn't matter to me at all. But I do think you guys are missing a story here on Belichick. And here's why. It's draft week. Mr. Trade back to a later round is doing his normal thing. He's in the shadows. He's quiet. He is going to surprise everybody Thursday night by trading up and getting the 33rd NFL team in the back end of the first round to take Deion Sanders. Watch out. He's going to be a Tar Heel. Oh, God, that's not how this works, is it? Never mind. Delete this, please.
I'm mad at myself for not having in mock drafts in the run up to the draft the 33rd team.
You're right. There was no rabbit out of the hat.
Ethan. We needed that.
That was good, Ethan. That was good. No rabbit out of the hat last night for the NFL draft, though. Deion Sanders was not transferring to North Carolina, the 33rd NFL team. Although, given how his night went, maybe he would have taken the 33rd NFL team.
You know what I enjoyed about that, though?
What's that?
And I know it's social media, and I know he did it for social media, but he talked to that crowd after the party.
Yeah.
He didn't go cry. He didn't go run away. I don't know if you saw the clip, but he was like, hey, tonight didn't go the way I want. God, I believe in God has a plan, and I'm going to be okay, and tomorrow will be a better day, and all those other things. But we've seen a lot of people in a lot worse situations run and hide and never talk again.
Is he not?
So I love it.
Is he not Deion's kid?
He is.
I mean, I would expect nothing less out of Deion's kid. Like I know he did the whole.
You'd be surprised, man. You'd be
surprised. I get it.
But
I think we all recognize that Deion's a little bit different.
Absolutely. And I think Shador is too. I'm just saying, full credit to him, man. I enjoyed it.
From a 919, on the coach's son, really didn't have an opinion on him until nobody picked him in the first round. But now I'm pretty sure he's going to be better than Lamar.
Well, different player from Lamar.
He is an absolutely different player.
He's not a runner, and that's kind of an issue, right? In today's NFL, he's like Bryce Young. I mean, he's smaller in stature, super accurate. We're talking. I mean, you talk about Bryce Young. It's funny, like Bryce Young got to your point. I think about Deion is really the problem here.
Well, we'll get to that in a second.
Bryce Young was, oh man, he's a computer brain. The way he processes everything, he played for Saban, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Shador Sanders, 74% completion percentage, no running game, no offensive line.
Yeah.
So you can look at that two different ways. Like, oh, well, he took a lot of sacks. You clearly never watched Colorado play football. The kid was running for his life the whole time. All the time.
But he made plays happen.
particularly against good teams.
Yep.
I get it. He does not have the world's strongest arm, but I'm with this person. I do think he is going to be very good. He's not going to be Lamar, but I do think he's going to be a very good starting quarterback in the league.
You have new mail.
It's from a 910. I can't be the only Panthers fan who wants Shedeur Sanders. Why not? Well, I think we just kind of alluded to it. Why would you want Shedeur Sanders when you already have Bryce Young? I mean, it's essentially the same guy.
You do have a controversy-free Bryce Shedeur.
Well, so let's get to the Deion aspect of this and the coach's son and things like that. And this is not I'm not breaking ground here. I'm simply presenting this as something that now that we've seen it play out, I think this is what's happening with Shedeur Sanders. This idea that teams have gotten smart and they're not reaching for QBs is bullshit, because Jackson Dart ended up going in the first round. How does Jackson Dart how does he jump Shedeur Sanders? Okay. The fact that we're not even really talking about Cam Ward is also interesting in the whole, like, we all recognize this is not a deep QB class, but let's also not act as though teams don't take QBs in these situations because of the first contracts and the rookie rate, wage scale, and everything else. So how do we end up with Cam Ward, who we recognize is not even good enough as an overall number one pick to discuss as, well, this guy's a franchise QB, and Jackson Dart just kind of quietly surpasses Shedeur Sanders? It shows you the overall nature of the QB discourse. So I want to get that out front. I understand this is not a loaded draft, and I've said this for the last couple of weeks leading up to it. This is not a traditional QB class. It is what it is. However, that still doesn't mean Shedeur doesn't get taken in the first round. So why wasn't he? Especially when Pittsburgh was right there, right? Pittsburgh needs a QB. And this whole, we got Mason Rudolph. He took us to the playoffs one time. Man, you could put you and me at quarterback right now for the Pittsburgh Steelers and with Mike Tomlin, and they're probably going to have a winning season. So enough with this. Oh, well, we had Mason Rudolph. That's crap. You had a chance to take Shedeur. You didn't. So why aren't you? What is it? And Mike Tanier, who does a very, very good Substack, he's a longtime NFL writer. He's now independent, had highlighted a USA Today article about, but it was an interview that Jarrett Bell had done with Deion, and it brought up this Josina Anderson report about the interviews that were going on with Shedeur and how people didn't like him. He was brash. He's entitled. We had that anonymous executive who said that this week leading up to it to get the people fired up. In that USA Today article that Tanier highlights, Deion tells a story about how he called he's like, I knew what team that came from, and I called the head coach. And I said, come on, man. Get your staff in order. All right. Now let's think about this. If you're an NFL team and you already have like a hot seat situation with your coaching staff or your front office, and Deion is as powerful as he is as a media entity. I mean, this is the same man we joked about this week, did we not? You sent me that clip about him looking directly in the camera with the players behind him, egging him on to say, we let you have one, Virginia. He's going after Virginia football.
Talk about beefing down.
So if this man, if this guy wants to beef with Virginia football over a transfer, okay, what makes you think he ain't going to go after an NFL coach over his kid? So I am now of the belief that the reason why he fell out of the first round, and we'll see where he goes in the second round tonight, has everything to do with the dad. It has everything to do with Deion and what Deion brings to the table. It has nothing to do with Shedeur. Take Sanders off that nameplate. Give him a different dad who played in the NFL. Deion is one of one. We all recognize he's one of one. So if you're dealing with a guy who's one of one, why do you want to invite that chaos to your franchise? So in a way, Deion, it's not Shedeur who's doing himself no service. It's his dad who's actually getting in the way. And if you want to bring up, well, it's not like other parents haven't been involved with these draft picks in the past. I'm not disagreeing with you, but how many of them are Deion Sanders, who is one of one and has a command of the media landscape to turn anything into something, including Virginia football tampering? I mean, were we going to talk about Virginia football at all this offseason?
I hope not.
No, we don't even want to talk to Virginia football at ACC kickoff. But Deion, now I do. Now I do.
Yeah, what'd you do?
Hey, man, why'd you piss off Deion? See what I'm saying here? So I think that's where we ended up with. Shedeur. We'll see where he ends up going. Now, speaking of the Panthers, I guess we kind of hinted potentially. Everything's been so focused defense. And everybody's been hyper-focused on Jalen Walker. But we talked to Mike Kay from the Charlotte Observer about this earlier in the week, and he just didn't really see the fit for Jalen Walker. We talked to Julian Council from Locked On Panthers, and Mason Graham was the guy that I think the Panthers wanted. In fact, I think they said it last night in their first round press conference. We're like, once Mason Graham went off the board, it kind of opened up. All right, well, what do we need next? This is the guy we wanted on defense. He's not there. What do we need next? Well, we talked about it with Mike Kay. We talked about it with Julian Council. I mean, I got the clip right here. You setting up with Kay earlier in the week about would it surprise you if they went in a different direction, because they still need help on offense. And Mike Kay wasn't exactly feeling the kid from Arizona.
Would it shock you though if they went another way? If they took the receiver from Arizona potentially, would that shock you?
It wouldn't shock me. I think Tet McMillan's a really interesting player. I don't think he's the best fit at wide receiver for them, mainly because this is the slowest offense I've ever covered in my career. And he is known as a jump ball guy.
Yeah.
And when you put it out there that you want to run the ball as much as possible, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I go, I'm going to stack the box. Fine, let Tet McMillan play one-on-one with my corner. Cool, he'll grab jump balls here and there, but like I don't have to worry about yak. I don't have to worry about like a 18-yard catch turning into a 47-yard catch. I don't know why I came up with both of those numbers, but whatever. I think Matthew Golden from Texas, who kind of reminds me of Brandon Cooks, is kind of more of their speed. But I get it. Like, I mean, here's the thing, though. Like, you drafted Xavier Legette. He's already a jump ball guy. And so when you have two guys who are, like, substandard NFL speed for having two – like, Jamar Chase has great speed. He's got – I mean, he and T. Higgins actually complement each other. I just, like – I don't know, man. I think they do need to make a move at wide receiver. I just think speed should be the kind of the thing they cling to.
So that was Mike Kay with us on, what was that, Tuesday, when we talked to Mike. So they end up getting the kid out of Arizona. I'm watching the draft coverage on ESPN last night. Are you an NFL Network guy or an ESPN guy when it comes to the draft?
I ended up somehow on the college game day version of the draft.
Oh, with McAfee?
No.
Oh, no, he did his own thing on YouTube.
No, like I think the ABC version was Kirk, Saban.
Oh, I see.
It was the game day set.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I watched.
And so it was all through the lens of
the college
here's what
stuff.
they did in college.
Gotcha.
Here's who they were.
Gotcha.
As opposed to I think the ESPN feed was the NFL side.
That's what I watch.
Kuiper and
that's what I always
whoever
watch.
else. And
yeah, that's what I always watch. Well, they had
the Viper.
Booger McFarland was on that.
I do like Booger.
And I like Booger too. And Booger made a really good point. He's like, well, if you're a jump ball guy in college, what's that going to make you in the NFL? I understood what he was saying. But then they got into a conversation about, well, what exactly is his role going to be with the Panthers? If they move him over to slot, well, then that might actually end up working out a little bit. Diversify. If they don't have the speed thing that Kay talked about, well, then you can diversify with some threats, whether it's Liggett, who's going to be healthy theoretically, and fix some of the drops, which again, that's a rookie thing. It is what it is. And then you can add Nalo to this, which, by the way, come to find out that Tet is not the nickname he wants. He either wants T-Mac or he wants Nalo. He does not want Tet.
Okay.
Tet was a thing. He's like, where'd this come from? I ain't calling myself that. Nobody calls me that. Nalo or T-Mac. End of story. I'm like, oh, okay, fair enough. I like Nalo. Anyway, I think we can all agree that Adam Thielen should not be your number one, right?
Correct.
Okay, so end of discussion. I think that's what it ultimately comes down to. You can find some value on defense, and you're also counting on your defense being healthy, because we never really got a healthy look at their defense last year. But you can't go into the season thinking that Adam Thielen's going to be your number one. And I think that's ultimately what it comes to. And if this means something bad for Jalen Coker, well, man, too bad. You were a great story last year, but man, it doesn't always work out that way. So you have to find a difference maker. And it looks like he was the guy that the Panthers felt was the way to go. And I don't hate the pick. Just because we convinced ourselves that they need defense doesn't mean they can't go and get defense tonight and in the rest of the draft. It's that simple.
Yeah, I think it's two things. It's a defense deep draft.
It is.
So they felt like with their next pick, they'd have a good look at a starter who could help them defensively. Then, of course, you have to add in that Derek Brown is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
So that feels like you're adding a starter back. Plus, quite frankly, I DJ Wonnum and some of the guys they did draft last year up front, I thought were helpers, were keepers.
Yeah.
So I agree with what they did. I disagree that it was McMillan.
Okay.
I would have
wanted a
taken
tight end?
I would have taken Warren from Penn State. You know, I watched a lot of college football this year. That's one thing I think. I'm not trying to be an asshole. It's just like people don't really watch college football.
Oh, that's true.
Okay. Particularly, that's why I enjoyed the Herb Street crew kind of talking about the players in the way that they did.
Yeah.
Trust me, this is all from someone who's a degenerate gambler. Okay. So I know McMillan from Arizona from betting against Arizona in the Big 12.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know Tyler Warren from Penn State from betting on Penn State in the Big 10. But I want you to take a half a step back and realize the person I voted for Heisman this year was Ashton Genty.
Mm-hmm.
He was actually the best player in college football this year.
Goes to the Raiders.
He was.
Yeah.
And you kind of look at it and you're going, well, who were the difference makers in college football this year? Look at the players drafted from Ohio State in the first round of this draft.
Mm-hmm.
Linemen, defensive players. They did have the one receiver.
Well, bring up Amarian Hampton. You're not telling me that Amarian Hampton's not going to work perfectly with Jim Harbaugh?
I love for him where he ended up.
Yeah.
I really
It's
do.
a great spot for him.
But he was also one of the playmakers in college football this year.
Mm-hmm.
Genty, the kid from Arizona State, the running back from Arizona State.
Mm-hmm.
Amarian had a year quietly,
Yeah.
obviously. You had the two twin freshman receivers, the one at Alabama, the one at Ohio State. True freshmen, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Playmakers.
Right.
Everyone else, like I was trying to say about this Golden guy at Texas, I'm telling you, I had Texas 78 ways to Sunday to win the national title. If they had any fucking playmakers, they would have won the national title.
Right.
They didn't.
Yeah.
Well, they did. They had one that the coach refused to play, the quarterback. Dickhead. But Golden was a transfer from Houston.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like true fastballs, true difference makers. There weren't that many this year, I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
And so the one thing I do like about the Panthers, Travis Hunter, I still think translates more as a corner. I think they'll give him some sets on offense, but I think he'll make his money on defense in the NFL. I like that at 8, they got their choice of the players that they wanted on that from that position. So I applaud that. I do think Warren, who Penn State used creatively, and they would have had the potential to use creatively as well. I think Warren was probably the player to take there, and we'll see. The Shane Steichen gift that keeps on giving, right? Panthers back in the day had the choice. Who are you going to hire? You're going to go old and steady, or you're going to go young and risky? Steichen was young and risky. They didn't take him. Didn't take the quarterback with him.
Nope.
And now you have the quarterback's best friend and Warren going to the Colts. So I would be fascinated to see how that plays out.
Well, that's the thing about Nalo, too, is apparently him and Bryce Young are boys. So that also helps out.
They have been working out in California. I like that.
Yeah, come to find out they've been working out secretly.
Yeah.
So, okay, cool. That's the guy that Bryce Young wanted. If you feel like you're locked in with Bryce, well, let's put some playmakers around him. Makes total sense to me. Of course, Jalen Walker, who everybody was convinced they were going to take, ends up going to Atlanta because, of course, he goes to Atlanta, which means that the first time that Jalen Walker gets to Bryce Young, people are going to be like, see? Well. Look who's in studio, Joe, on the Heister Automotive Group microphone.
This might be the best birthday ever.
2 years
Tim
in.
Healy.
Can't believe it.
Tim Healy,
So-
Ice Pack coach in the house. What up, man?
Pleasure to be
Cheers.
here. Joe, thanks for taking me back to college with,
got it.
with a Rolling Rock. It's been a while.
He's getting birthday litty
But
up in the
anyway,
studio today. First
what-
thing he does is he pours some Blanton's out, and then he's been knocking back Rolling Rocks ever since.
Well, I tell you what, you guys, 2 years in, cheers to you.
Appreciate that.
Not shocking. I can't be at the birthday bash next week because I'm going to be at a youth hockey tournament for my youngest daughter. I know you're stunned by this. So
I am shocked. It's funny. You coaches always tell the kids, when the season's over, you should take a break. And then you know who I don't see taking a break? The coaches with their kids.
It's true.
And you never actually listen to your own advice.
My oldest daughter is playing lacrosse. I
Okay.
cannot get my younger daughter into anything else.
Okay.
But yes, there's some hypocrisy.
There is rank hypocrisy when it comes to youth hockey. Now, don't get me wrong. Jacob's doing things like plus minus with Paul Strand over at the Golden Bears, and he's doing the power skating stuff over at Invisalign. But I see Facebook. Oh, look at this. We're off to Nashville. Oh, look at this. We're off to some like Bearcat Academy.
Yeah.
What happened to Holt taking the break? Play another sport.
Well, this one is, I tell you what, this one really makes me feel old because she's playing for a team out of Massachusetts
Okay.
where the coach, Katrin Lonergan, who had some cups of coffee with the national team, I tried recruiting her when she was in 8th grade to prep school, and now she's a hockey director.
That's
and
nice.
I was like, I'm just getting old at this point.
That's a recurring theme on this podcast for sure. We're all getting old, especially on Giglio's birthday. So do you got something for the raffle? Because we got the birthday bash next week. What you got?
This isn't for the raffle. We'll have a Stadium Series jersey for the raffle.
Whoa,
black one.
whoa.
All right.
Whoa.
But this is for you guys. First of all, I love being in the studio. Saw the accomplished greatness thing in the wild.
Which we are giving a clean
We have
one.
a clean one away.
Because that one is not clean.
No.
That makes our
No.
locker room carpet look lovely. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
But it's not unlike seeing a Belichick in the wild. Here's to booing him. But to see that in the wild is awesome too. So we have for the studio or for whatever.
Okay.
I don't know who wants to open it,
Okay.
but we have.
Oh,
I'll
man.
take it.
Yeah.
I'll
So
take it.
Is this what I think it is?
we know you love your City of Oaks.
I
throwback.
really do.
We know it.
The Raleigh script.
This is the City of Oaks.
Oh my
This is
God.
hot. I love this. It's the Raleigh City of Oaks jersey that
Turn
you
it
guys
around.
had for the game. What do we got here?
Oh,
OG podcast with the 23. I love that.
Man.
I
You're
love
gonna
that.
have to redesign behind you because that needs to go up.
Yeah, no, there's
Look at
man,
that. The
This
Rantanen
is-
jersey.
this is going right next to the Rantanen jersey. for
Yes.
sure.
I should hope it goes above the rent. And you don't have to change that number. And if
No,
you
we
do,
don't.
you're not getting a Rolex.
We don't. This is not a Roslovich situation where we gotta do all that kind of stuff. Tim, thank you, man. This
Yeah,
means a
man.
lot. I love this.
No, in all honesty,
I love the
thank you.
acorn on the 919
Yeah.
there on the side. I love that stuff.
The
This is
Raleigh
great.
script.
I love
Honestly,
it.
thank you guys for covering all levels of hockey. I don't know if this counts as a hockey break, but
We'll make it one. We'll
thank
make
you
it one.
guys for your coverage of hockey, and not just with the manager jacket. You guys have been great to the community across the board.
Yeah, man. I needed a break. You talk about hockey breaks. I needed a hockey break for real. After the manager.
You would have
stuff.
enjoyed his reaction. Game 1, we're up there, and he's like, "Wow, this game's so fast." He's like, "I'm used to watching 13-year-olds play. They need to slow down."
Well, no, it's not like I haven't been watching the Canes. I just haven't been at a game
Right.
in a hot minute.
Right.
I just haven't had time. So I've been watching the Canes on TV and whatnot. And yeah, sitting up on that 5th floor again. And I'm just like, damn it, guys.
Hockey's so different in person. It's kind of
Yeah.
sort of ridiculous.
I'll tell you what, there are nights when I'm coaching, I'm saying I'm out with my U12 girls team, and then at night I'm out with NC State. It's almost like I have to take a couple minutes because the speed is
The
just
speed is
so different.
different.
And then you go to that. But
It's funny too, because you're like, oh, that's right. These are grown ass men playing on the same sheet of ice. And it's like, why does the ice look bigger? Oh, that's what it's the same thing. All that kind of stuff. But man, I appreciate it.
Did you have any kids on the Raptors who won the championship?
so we actually have used the good question. So we actually use the Raptors almost as like our farm team
Feeder.
a little bit.
Yeah.
So we had 3 kids who just came up short of making the team this year, and they played with Ed Levin over there at the Raptors.
Mhm.
And we actually had the worst injury bug I've ever had in hockey this year. 3 of our top 4 D were gone by the end of October,
Ugh.
and we were actually out of defensemen. So our last cut was a D that was over playing with the Raptors.
Mhm.
So we called him on up.
Nice.
We
There you
didn't
go.
have Nikishin over there in Russia to bring in. Although actually we did have someone playing in juniors in Canada. We brought in second semester. But yeah, the
Nice.
Raptors are. Yep, we had some
That's good stuff.
guys up there with them.
It's not just the Raptors who are winning. The junior Canes, 18U, also ended up winning USA Hockey Tournament.
Same tournament?
I don't know if they.
No, there was another one.
The
Burns
U-
Burns
the-
listen,
the U-
listen,
the
listen to
U6
him kind of like getting this junior
I'll say
Canes
the
like
U16 Justin Williams team in the tier 1
Yeah.
had an amazing run.
Yeah.
They had a real chance to win a national championship. They actually beat Little Caesars in pool play, lost to the Pens in the knockout round. I'm
Hold on a
gonna
second. Let me-
shout out 12 black girls though.
Okay.
12 black girls is not a national championship, but they had the highest ranking of any 12 girls team nationally in recent memory. So,
It was.
and by the way, those older teams, Billet, our 12 girls team, all local homegrown talent.
This was the USPHL Elite.
Oh, the USPHL Elite. Yeah.
That-
so that's
that was-
the
that they
younger of the
won.
2 junior teams. Yeah.
There you go.
I think they've won 2 out of the last 3 now. So.
Yeah, we're supposed to get the coach on here at some point, but
Sure, Brad Gaylord's a great guy.
So we've had all sorts of stuff going on, but we might hit several protocols here soon. So
I think we're here.
no, we're not there yet.
I think we are.
We're not there.
That jersey's
yet.
amazing.
Relax.
By the way. Thank you.
You're welcome, guys.
No,
Thank you.
seriously. Thank you for the jersey. You're not going to be able to. I'll save some OG Light for you.
Oh yeah, we have our own beer.
I know. I heard. That's exciting.
We're working
Wow.
on the labels right now, but your first availability will be on May 1st at Shady's. We'll have it in a keg. I think we'll have 2 sixtels of it, so we'll be good to go. And we'll have it in cans, which will be available at Breeze Through.
We need
For
to get
real?
him-
Yes, it will be available
We
at
need to
Breeze
get them
Through.
available at WCC though for door and ice pack games.
I
next year.
mean, I can talk to my guy. I can
I-
talk. So
I
Bob.
bet you the Canes will try to upcharge us though.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But I'm talking about at Invisalign right now. I'm not
I
talking.
know.
Yeah,
They control that too.
I mean,
Unless you got people.
we got our guy at Tribeca,
Yeah.
so we can work something out. We might be able to work something out. So we'll see.
We'll try.
But yeah, no, the cans will be available at Breeze Through.
You have a Stanley Cup pick for me? I have 2 tickets that I really enjoy right now. So let's see what you got.
I tell you what, it's really you want it to count out Florida, but how
No, I got
they're-
one of those.
They're up
Yeah.
to Joe. I'm not quite Julie. I'm not quite a degenerate gambler
Okay.
that you are, so I don't
Yeah.
have any tickets. But the Panthers are tough, right? They've been there before. They're a really tough out. I think whoever comes out of that Dallas Colorado series, obviously the Kings look great.
Yeah.
Let's get the harmonicas into the final. I'm with it.
Okay.
I mean,
No Jets love. President's Trophy.
I'm kind of with Biz on them, kind of feeling that they're a little, until they prove me wrong, I kind of feel frauds on them. But
Mhm.
it's hard to bet against Florida right now. Up
Yeah,
2-0 on Tampa already, who everyone was high on.
I put that in the.
I didn't hear the other ticket I have though.
The Canes?
No, the most talented team, the Leafs.
I'm not buying it.
For real.
It's Toronto.
I mean,
it's Toronto.
it's
man.
See, like,
Toronto.
here's a New York guy.
Well,
Right?
Mostly because of entertainment. I am here for the Leafs meltdown every year in media.
It'll be entertaining.
For our triangle audience that doesn't really understand
No,
Leafs
they do.
media. The Leafs media
Well, you're right.
meltdown is take whatever UNC basketball meltdown is and times it by 50, and it is just pure amusement for the rest of non-Leafs Nation. That's why I mean, maybe it's that I don't want to see them win because I'm here for it.
Okay. Selfishly, I have a good Leafs ticket, okay? But if the Red Sox can win, if the Cubs can win, if all of these other dog shit teams can win, why can't the Leafs, who aren't dog shit, who are in the playoffs every year and have the most talented team?
It's the Leafs. They're the NC State of hockey.
NC State
Worse.
is-
NC State's got 2 titles since their last one.
I'm just saying.
Bite your tongue.
Just saying.
NC State's been to a Final Four.
Right.
The Leafs haven't even been to a
Right.
Final Four.
That's a good point. It's a good point. So maybe
They're the England. They're the England.
which
Oh,
England
yes,
and
they are. They are
England, and yeah,
100%
and,
England.
and England used to be the NC State of World Cup play, international soccer play, but even NC State's breaking that mold. So there's
We're
what
going
it
to have
is.
some wormholes here.
Hey, look, I put the reel out with Forsland, who we talked to earlier this week, and like
Great interview, by
It's
the way.
it's clear that
Thank you. He was great.
Florida is the team that the Canes don't want to see. I think it's.
I don't think anyone.
I don't
wants
think
to
any-
see-
yeah,
Why
I agree.
would you want to
I
see
agree.
arrested
I
Matthew
do.
Tkachuk?
I was gonna say, I think there was a question: would Kachuk play? And then all of a sudden he shows up and scores in the first game, and you're like,
what?
you're gonna put him with Marshawn?
These are hockey players. Of
Good
course, he's going to
night.
freaking play in the
I
postseason.
mean, he played with a broken sternum
I-
the first
They're
I
time.
hockey
understand.
players.
No,
It's
there
all
was a legit question: of
upper
whether he was
body
gonna
and
play.
lower body.
Yeah.
You come to
Yeah.
find out at the end of the season that his leg needed to be amputated.
To
I mean,
me,
that's
they're
how it
the-
always works.
They're the champs until they aren't,
Fair
right?
enough.
Especially with how they've opened up.
Mhm.
I've been impressed with the Canes, and if Freddie can, stay this Freddie, then they're going to be a tough out too.
It's a big 2 letters there. IF.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Tim, hey man, appreciate you dropping by.
Thank you guys.
And appreciate
thank you
the
again.
gift.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to blow out some of the OG budget for framing here soon, because Joe's got some space that he can make here on his
Yeah, I think
wall.
so.
I might have to rearrange some things myself, but we're gonna get some framing done here real
I think
soon.
maybe above the Keats sign over there.
No, Keats is never going. That's never going anywhere.
I said above it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Hey, man,
No,
Tim-
we need a center display.
okay.
The Rantanen one too.
Yeah. I mean, we might have to put that jersey and replace Belichick and Dorn. Might have to.
Okay.
Might have to.
I'll put
Aren't
it
all
in the
pictures
raffle.
though with Belichick, and I start that to be with Jordan, his girlfriend? Like, isn't that coming out in an email?
Well, whatever happens, just make sure she's emailed on it.
Yeah, it's CC.
Thanks, man.
That's a good point.
Tim, appreciate it, man. All right, one more phone call before we go to the paid side.
Hey guys, Kelly up in Wisconsin. Listen, I was listening to the Friday mailbag when you went down the road of songs that Belichick, Chapel Bill would be listening to, and it dawned on me all of a sudden as you guys head to your second anniversary, which again we'll talk about in a moment. But I think one of the things I appreciate about this podcast show is that it's kind of like the Seinfeld episode, The Outing. I get to sit in the booth next door and I'm secretly overhearing some of your conversations that you guys get stuck on or go down the road to. And now to quote, not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's just so fun to be part of your reminiscing that you guys do. And I think that's what makes this podcast stand out so much. That and the swearing, maybe that's 1A, along with reminiscing. And I think it's time that you guys have the housekeeping when you have to do something or in a meeting. I think you have to do some sort of, I guess, drop that when you reminisce, you have some sort of thing like, I can't believe we're this old, or I can't believe this was so far away. Because, I mean, I'm 58, so I'm just slightly older than you, but there is. You hear a song and it's like, when did that come out? Like 2050, 2001? It's just amazing how time has flown. So I appreciate it. Everything you do. Happy second anniversary. And the show just keeps getting better and better. And like I said, the first time I called, I really do appreciate that this is really secretly a Wolfpack podcast. And it's really just driving a nail into all those Carolina Pearl clutchers. Anyways, cheers. Congrats. Bye-bye.
Kelly had me until the end.
Thank you, Kelly.
Yes, thank you for the call. And honestly,
Hopefully you went to the draft last night. It did look like it was a scene, man.
Our girl Amy Oof. She was up there.
Yeah.
And she texted me that she was there on site. I'm like, I wish you would have told me you were there. We could have gotten an on the ground report. That would have been fun. But no, in all seriousness, the best compliment you can give the podcast is exactly that you feel like you're just kind of hanging out. That's the point. That's the thing about this format that makes it unique. I've always known it about the podcast format. But now that this is solely a podcast format, that can truly come through in what we're doing. And obviously we can do that with the mailbag. I said this to somebody the other day about the sports phone, because they were kind of laughing about how you got the chirp line and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm like, guys, the sports phone is not a new idea. It's just remix, right? Like, yeah, but they said this to me and said, but with the sports phone, it feels like I'm actually talking to you for real. It's not just a voicemail that's going into the ether. Maybe it gets played. Maybe it doesn't get played. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's going to get played. And it feels like I'm having a conversation with you guys. I'm like, yeah okay, good.
It's going to get played.
It's going to get played. Trust me. We need the content, y'all.
Sir.
We need the content.
Summer. That was the one thing Gordon yesterday kept like, so what will you do, like, in the summer? I'm like,
same things we
say, Gordon, we got a lot to get into.
It's going to be what if you made the whole podcast a lightning round? Maybe we will.
It's been done.
It has been done. All right, that's the free side of things. We got questions about a hard reset at UNC for basketball. Is the reckoning actually happening this offseason at NC State with Will Wade? Where's the reckoning happening? Joe's already spitting out his coffee. He's spitting out his bourbon. We got some more phone calls. We got all sorts of stuff on the paid side of things. You want to hear the rest of the podcast? Go to ogtrianglemedia.com. Be part of OG fans.
Here's a mail that never fails, makes me want to wag my tail. When it comes, want to wail.